My own brother. Oh, yeah, people.
Excellency. Good to see you again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President. Gabi. My in-law.
Mr. President.
The great Gabi. Your Excellency. Don't worry. This is family business. At least you benefit from my in-law. Fully.
This one is I don't like my wife.
Exactly.
People, the Governor's Party and ours may be different, but we have been entangled in the politics of Nigeria together. All we are fighting for is Nigeria, not ourselves. We came along with a governor with a difference, if I may say so. The chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum, every state we go to, whether a PDP state, Abga state, every state, the governor gives him that recognition as being a leader among the governors. And every state we go, regardless of the party, we pay a courtesy call on the governor as a mark of respect and recognition. On the team, we have distinguished Senator Domingo Obande from Edo State. We also have Mr. Fayemi Ige, and I am Senator Lawal Shuaibu. I lead this team. There is also Malam Ahmed Sajo. He is also on our team. We decided to trim down our delegation because we don't have money to take bigger aircrafts. So we came with an aircraft that will contain only a few, because we are not coming for ceremony, we are coming for consultation. Your Excellency, this is homecoming, I can say, because we used to be together, but I feel we are still together as far as Nigeria is concerned. No matter what anybody can say about anyone, I think the boiling point is Nigeria first. And that is what we have been struggling for, and that's what we are still struggling for. I sincerely thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Your DG of the campaign has hinted, Your Excellency, you know the tradition in our forum. The Nigerian Governors Forum is a non-partisan forum. And my job, when you elected me as chairman, is always to promote, to defend, and to protect all governors, regardless of their political affiliations. So it's a bounden duty for me, wherever I go, that I make my first port of call the governor, to extend courtesies, to discuss Nigeria, to reflect on the challenges that we're all dealing with, and to pray for peace and progress in our various constituent states. So Benue will not be different. In fact, Benue is special to me because I have too many entanglements, positive entanglements here. My own treasurer, so to speak, in the Governors Forum is your Honorable Commissioner of Finance. And I'm sure I speak to him more than I speak to any other commissioner or governor in Nigeria. Mr. David Olofu, the chairman of the Finance Commissioners Forum, and our own representative of FAC has been a fantastic and that I have depended on in all my years of service as the chairman of the forum. And Your Excellency, you and I go back a long way, and just as Senator Lawal Shaibu has said, in this party of ours, APC, and then even when you moved on, we have still remained very, very cordial. You've been one of my strong pillars of support in the Governors Forum, and I cannot but be here to pay respects and to let you know that it is this journey to a better Nigeria that has brought me. A lot of us are in this race. Yesterday on the tarmac in Imo, 4 of us met there, myself and the vice president on our side, Governor Wike and Governor Tambuwal on the other side. So, well, it's all about Nigeria. that is what we're doing. And we hope at the end of the day, both sides will give a nod to governors, serving governors, in order to protect the larger interests of the subnationals in the quest for a better and a more prosperous Nigeria. So I thank you for taking time out of no time to receive me and to extend all the courtesies to me. The security, the chief of staff came to meet me at the airport, and it was very gracious, and he's been updating me on developments in the state, the progress and the challenges that you are grappling with. And I pray that this tenure you will finish well and you'll finish strong in Jesus' name, and you would have left a solid legacy of a stronger, better, more prosperous Benue State for the successor coming into office after you. Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Go ahead. If at the end they bring someone like you, it will be great. Some of us have made our position very clear. We are from the north, but we believe in Southern presidency because we believe in fairness, equity, and justice. Yes, we will not stop anyone. At the end, if my party say that it's a non-candidate, yes, I have no choice than to support. But the truth must be told. The presidency, for some of us who have conscience, we believe that it should go to the South.
Your Excellency, good morning. Just very oratory politician and a performer. You've spoken here issues that affect Nigerians. Nigerians want to hear who will address their problems from insecurity, economy, development, unemployment, or employment. Can you speak to these issues and situate them as it affects us today, please?
Mr. Okay, you are the pious. Politics is my vocation. Politics is not my profession. I'm a security scholar. This is what I've done all my life, advising government, advising intergovernmental organizations on conflict management, on addressing security issues, on dealing with civil-military relations, on focusing on security sector governance. That's my life. And that's something that I would like to think I can bring to bear on this whole challenging issue that Nigerians are worried about. But we also need to address fundamentally, finally, the issue of national cohesion. Agada, Your Excellency, our mother, the former First Lady of Benue State, Chief Mrs. Regina Akume, elders of our party, leaders of our party, members of the State Working Committee, members of the Extended Executive Council of our party, our distinguished aspirants, our active field commanders all over Benue State, members of my own delegation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. Because the President kindly appointed me to superintend the activities in the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development after we won the historic election in 2015. And it was from that role that I returned to Ekiti in 2018 to contest for my second time in office to complete the unfinished task that we had at hand. In that position, when I succeeded, my colleagues from the 35 other states decided to invest me with the chairmanship of the entire Nigeria Governors Forum of the 36 governors. That is a role that has afforded me the opportunity to familiarize myself with the challenges of our country in all its nooks and crannies. I have been on the road regularly to work with our governors in the various states to address peculiar challenges in those states, and then to act as the bridge between the subnational entities, the states, and the federal government. And one clear issue that I see that has been on the front burner during my time as chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum is the issue of security. And Benue State has also had its own fair share of these insecurity challenges. So anyone who aspires or expresses an interest in superintending over the affairs of our country must be prepared to present a roadmap for tackling the security challenges in the country. Particularly in a food basket like Benue State that has been stopped pretty much from realizing its pride of place as the food basket. That is what Benue is known for. For the last few years, we all know, you better than I do, what has been going on in the farms in Benue State. The inability of our farmers to return to the land, cultivate the land in safety, without fear. And I believe if there's one priority that Benue people, particularly Benue people from our party, would like to see addressed, it is the farmer herders challenge that has created insecurity crisis, not just for farmers, but for all our people here. And as someone who believes that every problem has a solution, I believe we need to do more. President Buhari has focused on this issue of security generally in the country, and certainly some gains have been made, particularly against insurgency in the northeastern part of the country. However, it would appear that what has been relatively solved in the northeast has led to more challenges in other parts in the north central and in the northwest of the country particularly. And I believe these are the areas we need to concentrate to give our people a sense of belonging and a sense of ownership, and to restore hope and confidence of our people in Project Nigeria. So one issue that I'm going to invest a lot of my time in, if you support me in Benue and invest me with your votes, and we eventually gain victory from the entire population, voting population of Nigeria, you can rest assured, you can go to bed that I will focus on the security challenge of this country like no other challenge. And I'm going to do this by rejigging the entire security architecture of the country. And how do I intend to do that? I believe that there are a number of issues to deal with to meet the immediate demands of the people. One is retooling our military, both in terms of men and material. Recruit more people into the military, because that is one thing that is inadequate at this moment. But it's not enough to recruit more military people and train them. We also need to revisit the force structure and the force posture of our military so that it responds to the challenges of the present. We need to improve on actionable intelligence. There is intelligence now, but more often than not, the intelligence is not being acted on in an effective manner that tackles the challenges before it spirals out of control. So I believe we will need to do a lot more in intelligence collection, in intelligence processing, and intelligence actioning. 3, I believe we will need to do more in utilizing technology, particularly satellite technology and drone technology, in order to, first of all, identify these elements wherever they may be, and then respond to the horror that they are committing all over the place. But even if we do all this, my brothers and sisters and party leaders, we will still not address the security challenge in a sustainable manner, because the insecurity we are experiencing has triggers. There are triggers of conflict. There are triggers of insecurity. And the most critical ones that I see are poverty, extreme inequality between the rich and the poor in our country, which really promotes anger, frustration, and then extreme measures on the part of those affected. Without justifying their criminality, we need to close the gap of inequality in our country. We need to address the poverty complex in our country, and we need to improve on our social investments to our people. APC, as a government, came in with an agenda for social investment, but it is still few and far between. We need to do more for the weak, for the vulnerable, for the poor in our society. And I have a roadmap for this. It's very similar to the Bolsa Familia program in Brazil under Lula Inácio. And it would extensively address the problem of poverty and inequality in our society. But much more sustainably, we need to find a way to restore the hope and faith of our people in Project Nigeria. We can only do this if we manage our diversity better. Because right now, a lot of Nigerians are losing faith in Project Nigeria because they do not believe that we are managing diversity and our difference as well as we should. On my watch, you can rest assured that every Nigerian, regardless of wherever they may be, would have a sense of belonging in this country, would have a sense of ownership in Project Nigeria, and will be treated fairly, equitably, and with a sense of justice. So I want to assure you that this is something. I can see my former chairman. I can see my former chairman. You are the ones with the power. When I requested to meet with you and made that request to our party chairman, I said I wanted to see the party leadership. Because for me, it's not just about delegates. Delegates are important. Delegates will vote, but it is what will strengthen our party that should matter. Delegates are product of the party. They are not masters of the party. And it should be the collective decision of the leadership in Benue State that delegates should go and deliver when they go to Abuja at the convention. It should not be the individual preference of any particular delegate, because this is a party decision. And when the ballot is given to us in 2023, you are not going to see the name of any candidate on the ballot. It is the logo of the party that you will see on the ballot. So our party should be supreme, and we should do everything to make this party organic and take it away from being a platform for contesting election, but an organic entity that drives even when we're in government, that our party should respond to on policy issues. Our party should be the one that would have policy committee and regular policy conventions reviewing what the party is doing in government, so that the party can hold government accountable, not the other way around. Our prayer is that God should all make us the instrument for Nigeria's transformation and for peace and development in the land.
Innovation, His Excellency has spoken very well.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.